Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Real Talk Journeys of Resilience and Success. And today, I have a special guest. Her name is Karen Fenton. She will be joining us today in our live. So she's going to be sharing her journey. And let's find out a little bit about her. So let me introduce her to you guys before I bring her in. So I'm excited to welcome today's guest. Like I mentioned, her name is Karen. She's originally from the Caribbean and now living in the UK. Karen is a devoted wife, proud mom to a 14-year-old son, and a full-time professional in customer service and sales. Along her career, she's also a passionate digital business owner, creating new possibilities for her future and her family. Her story is a great example of what's possible when you choose to grow beyond the 9 to 5. So get ready to be inspired and let me bring Karen to the studio. Hi, Karen. Thank you for
Hi,
coming.
Sandy. Thank you very much for having me today on your live. I really appreciate it and for giving me a chance to, speak to your audience, share my story. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Karen. Okay, so since I already introduced you, we're gonna move on to the questions. So
Okay.
um, hold on this way. Okay. All right. So it's been a while since I have done interviews, as you see.
Myself
So
as well.
so today is episode 78 for our Real Talk Journeys of Resilience and Success. Um, So, the first question for you, Karen, is was there a specific moment or realization that made you say, I can't keep doing life this way? So, what finally pushed you to choose a different path?
Okay, thank you for that question, Sandy. So before this journey, my days were on repeat. You wake up tired, rush through the morning routine as a mom, helping my son to get ready for school. And then, I would just come home and head straight into working and giving work, and everyone else my best. And then at the end of the day, just have nothing left for myself. So outside, I was, I looked like I was coping, but deep down, I felt stuck. And so I was worried about, time slipping away, missing moments with my family and not, being ahead financially. And I kept asking God, is this really all there is for me? And uh, it wasn't like a fireworks um, moment, but
Mhm.
there was just some clarity. So I was on Facebook, and you know how Facebook suggests people that you may know. And I saw someone I used to go to church with, and I decided to just go on her page. And she was having a discussion with a doctor, and the information that they shared, it really resonated with me. And I realized that, you know, I was working hard and doing everything right, and still felt so exhausted, stretched, and uncertain about the future. And I knew that if nothing changed, then nothing changed.
Mhm.
And I couldn't keep praying for a different life while still, repeating the same routines. And that's when I chose faith over fear and decided to step onto a new path, even though I didn't have all the answers yet. I just decided to make that move. So here I am.
Thank you, Karen. Thank you for sharing that. And yeah, I totally understand you because, your story cannot relate to me and I'm pretty sure to a lot of us members in the community and probably viewers that are watching us, we get so caught up in that same routine, work, going home, sleep, and then go back to work, that, time passed by. And then we realized that, we miss so many things, I'm pretty sure you miss many moments with your kids that, you were not able to attend to their school events and that kind of stuff. Same thing, like when my brother was here with his family, I miss those family moments
Yeah.
because I was working long hours, and was pretty much during the week, I was not available until the weekend. And then on the weekend, like you mentioned, you go home, you're tired, so you need to rest and then prepare for the next week. So that cycle, and then it got to a point where we realized, like, well, do we want to still keep going this kind of life, or we want to make some change? And that reflection is the one that make us, to realize that we need something better for us and for our family. So in your case, you knew someone in church, and then through them you learn about this online business opportunity. um, in my case, I saw a YouTube ad, and that's how I found out about this online business opportunity. And like you, I didn't know what to expect. I just knew that I needed some change. And what I saw on that YouTube ad, it checked all the boxes what I was looking for. So I was willing, like you, take that leap of faith, and do it, and we and that's not an easy decision because you have to get out of your comfort zone, you know
Definitely.
but we know that if we want change, we have to do something, and we have to take action. So like you took action, and you are here today, same as me. So you're sharing your story to our viewers, how you end up here. Okay, so let's move on to the second question. So, since starting your digital business, what has changed the most for you? Not just financially, but in how you feel about your time, your family, and your sense of peace. And I love this question because, many times when we come to this industry, this online business, we tend to think only about the financial part of it, but we don't see the other benefits that we get. So let's talk. Let's hear about you. What were your um, the other things that you find out about this online business once you started the
Yeah.
changes?
Yeah. Definitely. So yeah, finances do matter, but what changed for me most was, a bit more peace.
Mhm.
So I stopped feeling like rushed all the time, and I'm gaining more clarity and confidence and hope again. Um, I'm more intentional with my time, and I'm no longer feeling guilty, for dreaming bigger. I finally believe that my future, can look different, and that belief alone is changing everything one day at a time. Yeah, so that's that's one of the real benefits for me since starting.
Mhm. Yes, thank you for sharing that, Karen. And yeah, I relate to you. And like you mentioned, financially, the financial part of it is good. Um, but many times, what is more important for us is having that flexibility time to be able to spend with our loved ones, have control of your time,
Mhm.
um, and this business is giving you that opportunity to be able to have a more balanced life, to have to control of your time, control of your what you want to do, like you take your own decisions.
Yeah,
So yeah, I do relate to that to you, because when we work, we don't have control of our time. And
right.
like for example, going back to the moments that you miss with your son, um, you know the job is not gonna give you like, oh, you have an event today with your, can you let me, they're not gonna give you that time for you to go see. So
It's
when
not
you
that
build an
easy.
online business, sorry, say that again.
It's not that easy to get,
Yes.
time
Yeah.
when you want to. It has to be in there. It has to be convenient for them as well
Mhm.
to give you
Exactly.
the time. So yeah.
Yes. Sometimes we're lucky that we have some bosses that are condescending, to be able to understand, but many times we don't have those kind of bosses, and that makes it a little bit harder, especially, when you have little kids and they get sick, and you have to stay with them at home, to be able to take care of them. Yeah,
Hmm.
it's really hard. So that, an online business allows you to uh, be able
Be
to be
present.
there and present. So, like we start this working, besides our job, but eventually, this business, give us that financial stability that we are able to leave our jobs and then be fully present to our families. So when Karen was talking earlier about, having hope, is because, we see hope now that we are, starting our online business journey, because we seen other people that, they started the same as us, and now they're having success, they're having that free time with their families, and that financial stability. So for us, like when we started our journey, we see hope that we're going to be able to do that too. you know we just need to keep focused and consistent, and showing up for our business. So thank you for sharing that, Karen, because a lot of people, uh, time flexibility and time freedom, that's one of the things that is very important to have, and take care
Yeah,
of your health too.
definitely. Yep.
Yeah. All right, so let's move on to the third question. So, this journey isn't always easy, okay? So, what challenges have you faced along the way, and what keeps you? Okay, sorry. I think there was a timer there. And what keeps you going when things feel uncomfortable or uncertain?
Thank you very much for that question. So let's be real. It hasn't been easy. I faced, you know, self doubt, fear of the unknown. That was a big one.
Mm-hmm.
Learning new skills and moments where quitting just felt so much more easier. But what keeps me going is my why, my family, my faith, and my vision that God placed in my heart. And yeah, I'm learning that growth doesn't happen in your comfort zone. You have to be willing to step out of that and learn new experiences. And every challenge, it helps you to grow into a stronger, better individual. And success isn't built on, the easy path. It's the challenges and failures that help you to become better
Yes.
along the way. So you just need to learn from the challenges um, that you encounter and keep going. So yeah, it's not easy, but just stick to it. It's hard before it gets easy.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just you know keep going. Really.
Thank you so much, Karen. Yeah, I totally resonate with you. And like we always mention, this journey is not easy. There's ups and downs. But like when we feel down, there's always go back to your why. Why did you start this? Like you went back to your why, and once we understand also, there is a process from point A to point B. You know, um, our we start to enjoying our journey, okay, but before we do that, we have to go through some setbacks, like like Karen was mentioning, there's points that you feel like quitting, because you think, this is not working. And then you
Yep.
start having those self doubts that are coming up, did I make the right decision? But when you go back to your why and you start reflecting, do I really want to keep living the same life that I'm living, or do I want a better life for me and my family?
Yep.
And when you think about that, you say, you know what? I'm gonna keep going because I want a better life. I want a better life for my family, for me. I wanna have that financial stability, and like I say, we build we go through it with the faith that we have a vision that we wanna achieve. So it doesn't matter that we have steps, we're humans, yes. We feel those emotions, but we learn how to bounce back. And like Karen say, the setbacks, those failures that sometimes we go through our journey, they actually made us stronger because we learn from it. And it motivates you, like if we were able to overcome those, we can continue overcome anything that comes our way because we have faith, we have a vision we want to achieve, and we're gonna go for it,
Yep.
because we know that it works. So thank you so much for touching all those points because they're very important. Because yeah, like you mentioned, this is not uh, easy. Doesn't happen overnight. This is not like a rich quick scheme that a lot of people think it's gonna happen. It takes time to build, but it works. And the journey is not always easy. There's gonna be ups and downs, but as long as we remember our why, we're gonna able to to keep going and be able to achieve and create that lifestyle that we want.
Yep.
So, and you also mentioned about getting out of the comfort zone. Yes, that's another good point because when you start going out of your comfort zone, that's when you really start growing. That's when you really start, being able to build a better confidence, building a better mindset, and being able to see opportunities in front of you that before you didn't see it because uh, you feel safe in your comfort zone, you know. But once we step out of the comfort zone, we learn to see opportunities. We start changing our mindset and thinking different, because we want to achieve something that we have a vision, and we do it with faith, and we do it with the work that we need to put in, and um, and continue building that mindset. So those are the key, to be able to succeed and remember the why. Okay, so the last question for you. So for the person watching this who feels stuck in the same cycle you were in before, working hard but still worrying about the future, what would you say to them today now that you started your journey, you're on this side, and you see what is available to you? Um, so for those who were in your position before, you found about this online opportunity, what would you say to them?
Thank you for that question, Sandy. That's a really good question. So, to the individuals like watching who feel stuck, tired, and worried about, the future, you're not lazy. You're not asking for too much, and you're allowed to want more time, more freedom, more peace. And if God has placed that desire in your heart, it's there for a reason. So you don't have to, take a big leap. You can just take a small first step. And yeah, so your next chapter, it begins the moment you believe that more is possible. So yeah, take a leap of faith and, trust God on your journey. Yeah, so that's my inspiration
Yes,
for
thank you so
someone.
Yeah, thank you so much. I love what you say, like with the moment that you start believing in yourself that you deserve more, you know. because that's very important. Like many times we think, oh, we don't deserve that, but you do deserve more. Everyone
Mhm.
that comes to earth, they do deserve to have more. So like you mentioned, if God placed that into you, like, that thought of, like having more, you know um, a better life for you and your family, yes, you can achieve. So yes, you're welcome to take that opportunity, that, to make that change.
Mhm.
But, like the same thing, you have to believe in yourself. You have to believe that, that you can achieve that. And, always remember your why. So for those who are watching us, the message that Karen mentioned, is really good, because, many times we think that we can't, or that, something that we want is only deserve reserved for something that already, for example, like before, we were thinking that only millionaires can be millionaires. We can't have that, because, we were born rich. But that's not the case anymore, because of the digital world that we have, that we live at this moment. If you take advantage of that, you are able to build that financial stability and become a millionaire. So that's available to anyone who is willing to take that leap of faith and start building, their online business, and through faith, through work, and through remember their why, and you're going to be able to do it. But you just have to take that uh, leap of faith and do take action, because we always say, dreams stays dreams if you don't take action.
Yep.
You can have all the dreams, but if you don't do anything about it, they will stay just dreams.
Yep.
So yeah, so that's the end of our live for today. So we hope so that you got inspired with Karen, sharing her journey with us today. What made her, to take that leap of faith, her ups and downs that she went, how she was able to overcome them, um, and those challenges that she faced. Um, and, like the message for you, the audience. So if you got inspired, and if you want to learn more about this online business opportunity, here are three ways that you can learn more about it, and get in touch with us. So you can either put in the comments more info, or you can send us a private message, and we'll be happy to answer any questions that you might have. Or you can register directly into websites that appear on the screen with your name and email address, and we'll send you that invitation to our free webinar that happens in the UK is every Wednesdays and Fridays. You're probably gonna be catching the replay, because I believe it's like 1 or 2 a.m. in the morning. So you will
Yeah.
be catching the replay in the UK. In North America, it's Tuesdays and Thursdays, 5 p.m. PST and 8 p.m. EST. So but when you register into our website, you will receive an email that will have two links. So one is to register to the live webinar, and the other one is to watch the replay of the live webinar. So you can always watch it from the comfort of your own home at your own pace. So it is available to you. So it's a free information. You got nothing to lose, more to gain. And you can see, if this online business opportunity is for you or if it's not. So saying that, we want to say thank you to everyone that has watched the live with us today. And for those catching the replay, thank you so much. To our followers, thank you so much for being part of our journey, for believing in us, and for engaging with our content. And of course, we want to thank our guest today, Karen, for taking some of her time today, and spending, with us, sharing her story and her journey in this online business. So thank you,
Thank you
Karen.
so much. Thank you so much, Sandy, for having me. Really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. The pleasure is mine to have you here. Um, so, saying that, we want to also wish everyone Happy New Year, because very close. I know it's not the New Year yet, but we're getting closer. So, Happy New Year to all of you. And wishing you, blessed and prosperous New Year 2026. So, thank you again for being here with us today. And until the next episode of the Real Talk Journeys of Resilience and Success. Thank you, everyone. God bless you all. And thank you for watching. Bye.
Bye. Bye.